Just want to make sure everybody's awake out there. Oh, now we're on. Okay.
Can
All
we
right.
just say thank you for your patience and hanging
Thank
in there
you.
with us?
Definitely
through
thank you.
Technical
Thank you
difficulties.
for I got Spike Lee gunning after me. We just got a text message that there are people at Kiss FM who were pissed that they got so short a moment of silence. So we're gonna give them another longer moment of silence right now. Okay, there you go. All right. Okay, you know what? We talked about Steve Harvey's book. We talked about the movie, and that's all well and good. All them people got their money. I ain't getting none of it, so let's move on. Okay. For those of you who don't know or who are new to watching this show, I am a motivational speaker. I'm also a certified professional life coach and a published author myself. The show, Find a Way to Make a Way, is named after my book of the same name. That'd be me right there. Okay, and we created this show as a personal development medium because of all of the great shows and the wonderful content. I was told that we didn't have anything directly geared towards personal development. So I was glad I was able to fill that slot. And I say this not to brag, but, well, one, because it's true, and two, because I'm a professional and I'm proud of my work. I get paid very well as a life coach. I get paid very well when I speak. But at the same time, and if my wife is watching and sitting down, brace yourself. I don't want you to fall out your seat what I'm about to say. But it's not always about money. Waiting for the lightning to come. Those who know me on Facebook know I have this infatuation with money. It's not so much the infatuation with money itself. It's with the acquisition of it. I believe that there is no nobility in poverty. So for those of you who have problems with the concepts or ideas of becoming successful, of having a lot of money, of making a lot of money, then you just gonna have to deal with it because I'm not changing. I've been broke and I've had money in my pocket. Life has always been better with money in my pocket.
I feel you.
I can tell you throughout my entire 20s, all the little punk-ass jobs I done had over those years, okay, I remember getting up, taking buses and walking and all this, that, and the other thing. So I've done the pedestrian public transportation thing, and I've had cars. Life was always better having a car, So there it is. But we are focusing a lot on personal development and everything. And like I said, I get paid very well to do what I do, but it's not always about the money. So I'm glad that I have this opportunity to reach out to a lot of people and offer my services while I'm on the air here. If you want to talk beyond the air, then, we have to work something out because that's when they get professional. But no, while I'm here, I want to be able to help people. So that's why one of these segments, this is like the what I want to become one of our most important segments, which is our Ask HRJR segment. All right. And during the Ask HRJR segment, that basically, and we have a graphic for it too. Don't we have a graphic for it? It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, we do.
There it is. Okay. During the HRJR segment, I take questions from the chat room if you have them. I also have a Twitter, which is at AskHRJR. Also have an email, which is askhrjr@ymail.com. You can send me emails. If you're already my friend on Facebook, you can send me a question on Facebook. And I bring the questions here. I may answer you directly when you send me that email, but I bring the questions here and answer them for you and try and help people out. Again, we also take calls, right here live. So if you want to call in, you have something you want to ask about, call in live. Let's chop it up. Let's deal with it. You're totally anonymous. Nobody knows who you are. You could be anybody, unless I recognize your voice. Then you try to play me. It's going to be a different story. But if you want to call in as well, again, the number is 646-233-1302. And I'm going to go into the first question I have here. And this came from, I don't want to put anybody's names out there. I respect people's privacy. So I'll just call her LB from Maryland. Okay. All right. And she asked me, and this kind of goes back into what we were talking about in current events with Steve Harvey's book and the movie. How come men change their Twitter? And this is funny because she sent me this on Twitter. How come men don't change their Twitter names to insert the female names, future husband, or Mr. her last name upon engagement. How do you feel about it? And would you side eye a Mr. her last at Mr. her last name or at future her husband? How do I? Well, let's see. Let's tackle these one by one. How come men don't change their Twitter names to whatever, female, whatever? Because men don't do that. You know, I mean, you gotta be putting it on them really damn good for him to, call him, I'm Mr. Shaquana Jenkins. No, it ain't happening. The dude's just not gonna do that. How do I feel about it? Or wait. Or Mr. her last name upon engagement. Come on now. Come on, LB. You sometimes you just ask questions because my friend LB, she likes to stir the pot. She likes to stir the pot too. We stir the pot together. She likes to stir the pot. And quite frankly, and a lot of you ladies might not like the answer, but it's the best one I can give at this time. And I don't even like the answer, but it's the best one I can give at this time. That's the way it's always been. I remember when my wife and I were, engaged and, talking about marriage, I asked her how she felt about, the whole last name thing. Did she want to hyphenate her last name? And I wouldn't have had a problem with it, never mind the fact that after we got married, she didn't change her name on the driver's license for 6 years, but I still love you. It's, it's there when it counts, so, but, men don't do that. That's just, that's not what's done in this society, now there are situations where people jokingly in situations where, the woman may be of a higher status than the man, they may joke about him, for example, when Halle Berry and Eric Benet were married, Eric was good. I mean, he was starting to really get some shine, but Halle had just won an Oscar. So everybody was calling him, Eric Berry, things like that.
That's
somebody give us something in the chat room?
Well, we have a few things going on in chat, but I would just ask them to focus on the show. We're still lost in our technical difficulty, but yeah. Oh,
don't be lost in we back.
We back.
There's a slight delay between real time and what you see, but we here.
Yes.
And we're going to be here. We're going to make up for that time that was lost. So
Absolutely.
Don't go. So don't go anywhere.
You will not miss any HRJR.
You will not. Well, if I'm not here, I hope you miss me. But while I'm here, you will not miss any of this. And that's the beautiful thing about internet radio. Okay, we better than terrestrial radio. We just don't make as much money as them. But we better because we here, and we reach so many more people. But again, that's just not how it's done in this society.
Right.
This is going to sound very archaic the way I'm saying it, the way I'm articulating it. But, a man claims a woman and, they get married. She takes on his name. He is the head of the household. Okay. But a lot of women get caught up in that. I don't want to submit to no man. I don't need to submit. Why I gotta submit? Why can't he submit to me? Because if he do, he ain't no man. Oh, yes, he is. The strongest man is the man who can submit to his woman. No, the most punk-ass man is the man who... No, it's not so much about... See, people take the word out of context. Submission is not in the sense of, that's your slave. My wife does not submit to me as much as I would like her to. No, my wife doesn't submit to me, but we work together. There are things that she does, like, that's her thing. Mm-hmm. She does that, And then there are things that I do. It's my thing. That's what I do. And one of the things that she does, when it's time to get our big one up and on the bus, that's her thing. That's what she does, I can tackle it, when she has to get out and do an early morning photo shoot or something like that. But there are things that that's what she does.
That's her lane.
That's her lane.
She handles that.
And she handles that, And I mean, for example, there are a lot of households, and I work with a lot of guys who, they come home and they just give their paycheck to their wives.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah, for them. Okay. Okay, they give their paycheck to and the wife takes, gives him his little punk ass allowance.
What's wrong with that?
So he can get a little video game, have a beer with the fellas, okay?
And $48.
And then she, right? And then she goes and pays the bills and everything. All right, well, it doesn't work that way in my house. When the money comes in, I I handle paying all the bills. That's just my lane. You know, like you work. You when we first got married, those are the things that we discussed. You know, we evaluated each other's strengths, and that whole and the funny thing is we're both Libras, so we're both. You know, what I say is we're two sides of the same scale. You know, whereas she would be, you know, the emotional one in the relationship, and I'm more the logical analytical portion of our relationship. So that's how we balance each other. I like that. See,
that's good.
I ain't even write that down.
And you won't be in trouble either.
No, I'll probably still be in trouble because I pretty much said she ain't changed her name, and she's gonna say why. She's probably gonna get in the chat room. Look, there she is, right there. There she is, right there. There she is, right there. I told you she was gonna say something.
Well, I have to tell you, before, when you mentioned the money thing, she said she was getting, I just hit the floor.
See? When I said it's not all about money, I tried to warn you to brace yourself.
Can I make a quick confession?
Please do.
I never changed my name.
See?
I'll be married 19 years next month.
See? Heathen. No,
but I'm going to do it. I'm going to change my name.
Shit, right. Okay, again, here's the room to be a chat room rebel. I want to entertain everybody's comment as much as I possibly can, and please forgive me if I don't get around to it, but I ask one thing of you. In that box below where it says view archives, guests are shown in between, name, right under where it says name. Put a name for yourself. Make up a name for yourself. Again, nothing disgusting, nothing nasty like booger picker, booty scratcher, you know, or hot stank ass 207. Nothing like that. But come on, let's have some fun with this. And what else did my wife say?
Well, she said that it depends on the situation. When I'm in my husband's world, I'm Mrs. HRJR. When he is in my element in my world, he's Mr. Terrier.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mrs. HOJR. He asked me.
I gotta take a drink to that. Excuse me. Yeah. Why are you trying to hide off camera? Did you drink?
I'm following the host.
Yeah, okay, follow me. I'm actually dumbfounded that she would type something like, because my wife got jokes like that. You think I'm funny? She could. That's a good one. She caught me out there with that one.
Well, can I tell you what guest 8048 said?
No, because they ain't put their name. No, what did they say?
Well, our guest said, in all fairness, if the mate is better at it than me, then let her manage the funds. Just keep me in the loop.
Just keep you in the loop. You better stay on top of your money, dog. Keep it.
But you know what? Do you think some men pass that on because they just don't want to be bothered with the responsibility?
Yes.
It's a huge responsibility.
Yes. And that's why some men find themselves assed out if sugar turned to shit. This is internet radio, I can say that. If sugar turned to shit and he ain't got no money and she getting the house, the kids, the car, and then he still got to give her money on top of that. Plus she got her FU money. All right, that she got from jacking. See.
Wow,
see,
you just broke it down.
See, I tried.
That should be a book, HRJR.
Man, shoot. No, but I mean, there's no set situation. There's no set situation. So that's dollar in the curse cut. You ain't telling me there's no the dollar. Well, let's make up for it.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. See. Bribery works everywhere. You got to pay the general off. Now, considering I just shared what I'm drinking with the general, I could pretty much let any florin filth fly out of my God-loving mouth for the rest of the night. No, but getting back to the topic. No, there are. Every relationship has a different dynamic, and this is the problem that I have with a lot of conversations that I see on Facebook and all over the place, and a lot of different chat groups and stuff that I belong to. People ask the same questions to stir the pot, because when somebody comes up with a different answer, that person's wrong. No, it's not that they're wrong; they're right for their dynamic. And if that dynamic doesn't work for you, then mind your business, keep it moving. And that's just how it is for some people. Some families, men do all the cooking. There's some you got the stay-at-home dads. Right. For all intents and purposes, I've because I do my own thing now. Between my coaching, my writing, my speaking, and even in doing real estate, I make my own hours in everything I do. So for the most part, I'm home. So I have the benefit of being young enough to be home and still have my money come in and still be able to, you know, see my children grow up and play with my children and everything. So, I mean, that's just a certain dynamic in everybody's household. Not everybody's household and not everybody's relationship has the same dynamic. Quite frankly, I don't know any man that would take his wife's name. I wouldn't lot, you know, if that's your thing, you know, go ahead. But I don't see us spending time together kicking it, you know, because
he wouldn't be one of your boys.
Hell no, hell no. No, he couldn't be one of my boys because if me and the other fellas was around, we be cracking on him all the time. You know, I'd ask him, yo, man, how's your vagina doing today? You feeling all right? You know, you need to get yourself some Tampax on the way home. So I would clown the dude, you know. But again, that's only because it's funny to me. I can't say that that's wrong if he loved that woman that much. And she put it on him that well.
I don't think there's that much putting on.
Well, that's a woman. A woman said that. Okay.
All right. Somebody quoting scripture in the chat.
Oh, see, don't do that.
OLHC said, "Husbands, love your wives. Wives, submit to your husbands."
All right. Oh.
They agreeing with you.
No. All right, no, but see that OLAC, that's somebody from my past right there. Somebody creeping up from my past.
Uh-oh.
So that OLAC, that stands for Our Lady Help of Christians. That's why I went to grade school. So somebody out there from my past. I hope that's not an ex-girlfriend or something out there, cause I ain't do nothing to you, so I ain't worried about it. No, but I mean, it is what it is. You know, people. You know, if there's a dude out there who would change his name to his woman's name, you know, just like as a Twitter handle, because that's what she's talking about. You know, if that's a cutesy thing that you want to do, okay, go ahead, do it. You know, that's cute. I mean, I had a girlfriend one time, way before I met my wife. You know, we had, and I'm dating myself, mind you. You know, we had identical cross-color suits, and a couple times we went out wearing our cross-color suits together.
Oh wow!
You know, but
are there pictures that?
Hell no! Hell no! Hell no!
If you happen to have them,
no, hell no. She ain't got them. Taria ain't never synced them, and now she gonna go in my office looking for them. But no, I mean, if that's what a dude wants to do, you know, at future her husband or whatever, hey, you know what, dude? If you like it, I love it. Whatever tickles your pickle, whatever floats your boat. If that's what makes your woman happy to see, you know, you claim her that way, because that's the ultimate way of, you know, of claiming her. You know, I'm Shakina Johnson's future husband at whatever. Hey, do it. Go ahead, knock yourself out. Wouldn't be me, but I still love you, baby. But that Mr. Taria thing, that was. I still ain't got no comeback for that. That was she caught me out there with that one. But you know, yeah, I mean, for the most part, and the people have it right in the chat room. You know, husband love your wives. Why? Well, you know, wives submit to your husband. No, again, because that's what the OLAC person said. Husband love your wives. Wives submit to your husband.
Command. Well, yeah.
Hey, why? But the problem I have is because people take that word out of context. All right, and for those of you, it's 10 minutes to 10, but stay tuned because we are still rocking out to make up for the time from the technical difficulty, so don't go nowhere. People take the word submit out of focus, out of context, rather. So I would just as soon say, you know, husbands and wives just cooperate with one another, you know, and stay in your lane.
The Bible didn't say that.
The Bible is a whole lot of things. Look, see.
I'm sorry. Let me
see. No, because here's the thing. People, and not you, not saying you, but the Bible has been kind of inadvertently brought up here, and you know, you made a mention about it. And I read my Bible a lot. I'd say it's about every other day, every week, and you know, I'm in my Bible. But at the same time, there are people who go around quoting what little scriptures they can remember and what have you. All right, there are 66. There are 66 books in the Bible.
Yes.
If you ain't living to the lessons taught in all 66 books, shut your ass. I really ain't trying to hear it. All right, you know, and my wife just said the Bible says a whole lot of things that just don't apply today. Okay, yeah. I mean, because we're talking about a book that supposedly goes back to the beginning of time. Okay, and you're not living your life in 2012 the way people live their lives in 12 BC, if there were even people in 12 BC. Okay, but so for 2012, for a happy, at least tolerable relationship, if you're going to commit your life to being with this person, then you might as well, understand that you got to compromise. There are things I had to compromise in my marriage, and there are things my wife had to compromise in our marriage. And when we really want to be bullheaded with each other, one of us comes out and says, you're supposed to compromise, right? You're supposed to. And quite frankly, when you compromise, you submit. Because if you feel a certain way about something and you don't stick to that particular argument or that particular stand to appease your mate, you've submitted. And there's no shame in that. This is why I say people take the whole submission thing out of context, because they think that there's some shame in submission. They think there's some level of being less than if they submit to their mate, whether it be husband submitting to his wife or vice versa. There's no shame in that. There's a part in the movie where the happily married dude had said, I don't cook because I have to. I cook because I want to. I love being able to go home to my wife and have somebody there, and well, see, I was about to give away. I was about to be a spoiler alert right there, but no, But let me say that was that little conversation when this dude said that to the fellas, that became a pivotal part of the movie. So go ahead and spend your money. Go see it. Do what I did. Go to the matinee at like 11 o'clock in the morning. If you could do that, well, I'm retired. I can do that. Mm-hmm. But, if you got a day off or something, a vacation, do what I do. Go to the movies at 11 o'clock, 11:45. It's $6. Mm-hmm. Matinee, I'm cheap. So, but no. And here's the funny thing. I really don't do a lot of relationship advice. I really don't. But given that I saw the movie today, and I actually got this question today as well, and one had nothing to do with the other, but it kind of linked, and I felt moved to address that. But for the most part, I really don't do a lot of relationship advice, or at least openly talking out about it, because, a lot of my views are crazy to some people. I don't know why. But yeah, no, because I certain things I just keep real, certain beliefs I have that I know a lot of people don't believe, and so I just think to each his own in certain areas, and relationships is one that I rarely touch. We do have one more question, but I think I'll save that question for next week, because that question and answer is rather long. I really want to go into our next segment, which is our seminar topic, and I have a couple of gems I want to drop on you right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a second to grab a pen, piece of paper. If you're sitting there on your computer, you might want to pull up a Word document, a blank document, because I want to drop some things on you. First thing I want to share with you, as again I said, one of the things I talk about, one of the main things, if not the main thing I talk about, is becoming successful. And there are many different levels of success, different areas of success, different perceptions of success. And I would go so far as to say there are as many views on what success is as there are people on the planet. Okay? So for some people, being successful might be getting that promotion on the job. For some people, it might be, winning the lottery. It might be getting that record contract. It might be getting that A on your report card. It might be seeing your child bring that report card home and you feel successful because you coached your child, you studied with your child, you read books to your child, and that all added up, attributed to that child bringing home that A. And then there are a lot of people who believe that success comes with having certain status symbols like big cars, big houses, jewelry, clothes, and all that kind of thing. Women on your arm, men on your arm, whatever. All of those things are success to whoever. Again, every person has a different dynamic, okay? But there are some areas where everybody is the same. And so what I want to share with people today is something that I call the 3 wants, okay? And there are 3 things that people want, okay? People want things in life fast, they want things in life good, and they want things in life cheap, okay? Now, okay, we got that, and they want them cheap. Now, here's the funny thing. You can only have 2 of the 3 wants at any given time. You can't have all three. You cannot have all three, because if you want it fast and good, it's not going to come cheap. If you want it cheap and fast, it ain't going to be any good. And if you want it good and cheap, it's not going to come fast. So think about that. And I'll say it again. If you want something fast and good, it's not going to come cheap. What that means is you want to get it quick. Like you go to a restaurant, you want a porterhouse steak with the little roasted potatoes, okay? But you want it fast, you want to be good. Guess what? It's not going to be cheap. If they got some type of way to cook it real quick and get it to you, and it's just as good as if you had to sit there for 20 minutes and wait for it, best believe you're going to pay for that. You're definitely going to pay for that. Also, if you want something cheap and fast, it ain't going to be any good. Look, I mean, fast food restaurants, all right? If you want it cheap and you want it fast, it's not going to be good. It's not, and how good is McDonald's for you? Not to put down McDonald's, but over a long period of time, how good is a fast food diet? Whether it's McDonald's, Wendy's, what have you, it's not good for you, all right? And lastly, again, if you want it good and cheap, it's not going to come fast, all right? Good, meaning if you want something of quality, but you don't want to pay a lot for it, okay, but you ain't getting it fast. You're going to have to wait for that. You're going to have to wait for that to come, all right? So that's just something I wanted to share with people, to get in mind. And again, these seminar topics, I'd be more than happy to send them to you. Just send me an email request at askhrjr@ymail.com. Let me know which show you were listening to, what topic I was talking about, and let me know if I'll send you a PDF copy of it, so you could, some things you could put up on your wall and just look at and remind you about, and we go on from there. I see we got some more comments in the chat room. Are they still talking about the relationship stuff?
The Bible.
All right, okay. I'll be going to church day after tomorrow. All you holy rolling Bible thumpers, you're really going to give me a complex, because I'm sure there's going to be some more cussing in this show. So can we please lay off the Bible? We can talk about the Bible. There's always room for God. There's always room for God. But let's be real. I don't think it's asking too much. But no, I respect everybody's views. See, this is why I told you before, I don't have my church people on my Facebook, because I will let the filth, foreign filth fly. That's just how it is. But there it is. Again, so everybody, battling it up in the chat room, lighten up. Lighten up. It's not that deep. Really, it's not. Lighten up. It's okay. I won't tell anybody. All right. My next seminar topic I want to talk about, and I want to spend some time with this. And this is something I call the 3 Ps. And again, this also has to deal with success and becoming successful. People who achieve whatever they dream to be, their own definitions of or levels of success, I want you to understand, they don't see their journeys as impassable minefields, okay? They do see the minefield, because life is a journey full of twists, turns, traps, and pitfalls and all kinds of things. But these are the people who become successful. They're the people who see their goal on the other side. And even if they can't see it, they know it's there. If that's the minefield, they know on the other side of that minefield is their goal, is their dream, is their definition of success. And what happens is they anticipate the traps and pitfalls. They know that they just have to find a way, shameless plug, they have to find a way to successfully navigate around it. And sometimes you're going to stumble. Sometimes you're going to fall. Sometimes you might hit that mine, okay? Hopefully it's not fatal. If it don't kill you, it makes you stronger. All right, but you still got to get around those minefields. You got to navigate around them until you get yourself to the other side. So what I want to do right now is I want to give you 3 tools that are going to help you get to the other side. These 3 tools, I call them the 3 Ps, and there are 7 Ps included in these 3 Ps, but these are the main 3 Ps that I'm going to give you, and I want you to consider these tools that you can put in your toolbox towards your journey to success. Okay. The first one is purpose. And it was Nietzsche who said, "He who has a why can endure." You ain't got to write it down. I got it right here. I can send you.
No, I like to write it.
Oh, it digests better?
Yes.
Go ahead. Don't let me stop you then. No, I was saying it was Nietzsche who said, "He who has a why can endure any how." And one of the many things that keep people from finding the success that they claim to want, their focus is off. Okay? And they may see the goal they want to set for themselves, but they focus more on how they're going to achieve it than why they want to achieve the goal. And because they can't quite figure out how just yet, they give up way too soon. Right? You know people like that? Mm-hmm. Okay? But what I want you to understand is when you know you're doing something, okay, or rather when you know why you're doing something, it becomes easier to do, because when you know why you're doing it, it begins to make sense. Okay, when you know why you're doing something, it makes it. Let me ask you a question. When you were growing up, and you have children, so you could use both, manners of reflection. What is the one question you would ask your parents and that your children asked you relentlessly over and over again, all the way up until you could just, all you can come out and do, and this is what made you know you was a real parent at the time, because I said so.
That's right.
What's that one question they would ask?
Why?
Why? Why?
Why?
Why?
Why can't I go?
Why? 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 Why?
Why can't I have?
Why? Exactly. Why? Why? Okay. Here's the thing. As we got older, our childhood curiosity wavered. Okay. As we got older, we became more self-sufficient, and in becoming more self-sufficient, we learned how to do things on our own. So when it comes down to getting something done, we tend to focus on how we're going to get it done, and figure that the why is simply either because we have to, because the response has always been because I said so, so therefore because we have to, or we would figure out the why along the way. All right? And that's not good. That's not good going through this journey we call life, especially if you're on a mission to achieve something. All right. So what you have to do is you have to define your purpose. Go back to asking why. You see, success doesn't come from having the right answers. It comes from asking the right questions. Without questions, there are no answers. Now, you can ask all kinds of questions, all kinds of people. All right. But the best way to define your purpose and determine what will work best for you is to ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself why you want to do this, why you want to have this. When you ask yourself why something is important to you, your mind begins coming up with answers. And some of those answers might be right. Some of those answers might be wrong. But again, you're going to find your way. You're going to be able to work it out because things will be able to make sense to you. Ask yourself, why do I want to have or become this thing? And at this stage in the process, when you're asking yourself why, ask yourself, I feel the spirit. Okay. No. Ask yourself, why do I want to have or become this thing? All right. And this is something that happens at the beginning. When you realize, I want to be this, I want to have that, I want to have this car, I want to be this person, I want to do this job. Whatever it is, ask yourself why that would be important to you. Ask yourself why that would bring value to your life. All right? And this being the beginning stage of the process, what happens is the only how that matters is not how do I, but again, how does this improve my life?
Right.
Okay. Once you've defined and determined your purpose, you can begin the next logical step, which is preparation.
Okay.
All right. Now, this is a story that I share when I talk about preparation. 20 years ago, and as I said, 7 P's. 20 years ago, I was taught a lesson in preparation. This lesson was called the 7 P's. I learned this lesson when I was pledging Grew Fi Grew Social Fellowship Incorporated. Now, if anyone out there who's watching, listening, if you've ever pledged a fraternity or sorority, you already know that during that process, I had to deal with a variety of tasks and assignments.
Okay.
And I'll leave it at that. And those who pledge understand. Okay. But the lesson that I learned was called the 7 Ps, and the 7 Ps stands for proper pre-planning prevents piss poor performance. All right. And what happens is a lot of people get a halfway decent idea in their head, but they go off half-cocked to try and make it happen. All right. They didn't properly pre-plan. And what tends to happen when you do that, your results are lacking. Therefore, you produce piss poor performance. Okay. That's a problem. All right. For me, it was like knowing what was expected of me. I would anticipate the next thing to come ahead. It's like going, doing a homework assignment and then reading the next chapter to be ready for whatever happens the next day in school.
Right.
All right. That you can never go wrong doing that. You can never go wrong preparing yourself. So when you go about setting goals and striving to become more than what you are, you have to know what you're getting yourself into. This is where after you've determined your why, by defining your purpose, you begin formulating your how by preparing yourself for the journey that lies ahead. Okay? When preparing yourself for greatness, you really have to take a hard look at yourself. Right? That's paramount. You have to understand and know how you react to things. You might have to do some studying and strategizing. You might even have to create some contingency plans. Now, I heard a lot of people, Steve Harvey being one of them, saying, I don't believe in the plan B because I put all my faith in the plan A. Well, you know what? If that works for Steve, God bless Steve. Hey, he's doing his thing, so it's working for him. If you like it, I love it. If it works for you, cool. Let it work for you. But me personally, I don't mind having a plan B, C through F through Z. And then when the alphabet is done, the numbers go on forever. And you can combine the alphabet and the numbers. Bottom line is, when things go wrong, I want to be able to shift into second or third gear and keep it moving. All right? But like I said,
so many people get stuck right there, and they don't go.
Right, because they didn't prepare themselves. They did. When I go into different ventures, I always try to ask myself, what could go wrong? Not because I'm looking for things to go wrong, but I want to anticipate what could go wrong. I want to find those mines in the minefield so that I can try and figure out a way to get around them. Okay, it's like playing chess. There's people have been playing chess for hundreds of years. There are so many different ways and strategies to play that one simple game. So that's what works for me. I mean, I believe in what it was Whitney M. Young who said it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. We weren't prepared to go black for about 15 minutes, but we were prepared in the sense that we had someone here who could correct us and get us back online.
Right.
So that was our contingency plan when we hit a mine in the minefield of doing this show. So most people believe that in some way successful people are lucky. They believe that success is some random occurrence that just walks hand in hand with luck and just happens to kick a certain person in the behind, and that person is the one who becomes successful by osmosis or something like that. No, that's not what happens. I believe in what Seneca, who's a Roman philosopher, what he said, which is luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. All right, so it's very important that you prepare yourself. And the last P in the 3 Ps that I'm going to give you is perseverance. All right, now, there's an old saying that goes, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him what you've got planned. There's another saying that goes, and my father used to always say this a lot, the best plans of mice and men often go astray. And yet there's another saying, and all you Bible people in the chat room, you'll get a kick out of this as well. All right. God may not come when you want him,
but he's right on time.
Okay. True and lasting success does not always come when you want it to come. All right. I always tell people that the obstacles we face are God's way of testing us. We have to prove ourselves worthy of the things that we want. I always say, when I first started speaking, one of the things I would always say is that when you take a stand, even if it's just within yourself, within your being, within your spirit, and you say, I want to become this thing, and you mean it in your heart, I always say God takes notice of you. The universe takes notice of you. and then they send a text message, a page, a Facebook instant message, something, a carrier pigeon. They send a message to Murphy's Law. Mm-hmm. And as you begin to proceed on that journey to become whatever it is you want to become or have whatever you want to have, anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and at the worst possible time. Yeah. During that process, going through that minefield, that's when you have to persevere. You have to persevere, all right? So you can spew all of the positive affirmations in the world, but if you're not out there putting in the necessary work to prove yourself worthy, it's not going to happen. And I always tell people, whatever measure of success you think you might get by taking shortcuts, it's only a fraction of what you could truly be capable of receiving if you went out, if you just went all out, balls to the wall, and overcame those obstacles that are placed in front of you. There's something to be said about somebody who knows the full way, because if all you know how to do is take shortcuts, I'm about to cuss again, Norm, when sugar turns to shit, all right, you know how, just like what would happen when the computer went down, Norm knew what to do to put it back online. Okay? That's because Norm didn't take shortcuts learning this system. He knew exactly, not to say that you take shortcuts in what you do here, but he has a more extensive knowledge of the way the system works. So because he has that extensive knowledge, he could come here and do in, the 10 minutes that it took him, what would it probably take you maybe an hour or two to try and figure out. All right?
An hour or two?
Well, I'm just throwing numbers out there. You got to get salty about it.
20 minutes maybe.
Okay, 20 minutes.
Maybe an hour.
See? Jesus. Oops, sorry. Yeah. Didn't want to upset the holy rolling Bible thumpers in the chat. Nah, I love y'all.
They're coming for you, HR.
Well, I mean, I got Spike coming after me. I got Kiss FM coming after me. I'm gonna give Kiss FM another moment of silence. Okay, all right. And I got the Bible Belt in the chat room with the chat room rebels, and they coming after me too. It feels so good to be wanted. No, but here's the thing. I believe that people are conditioned to think that achieving a particular goal is supposed to take a given amount of time, and for many things this may be true. For example, you're supposed to graduate college in 4 years. Some people do it in 3. Some people do it in 6. I haven't done it yet. And it's been some time, but these are things that I work on in life. These are things that we work on in life. Things happen when they're supposed to happen. This goes back to what we were talking about in the earlier segment. Everybody's situation has a different dynamic. Mm-hmm. Okay? So things happen for you when they're supposed to happen for you. And they won't happen any day sooner. All you can do is just what Zig Ziglar calls see the reaching. It's like when you're driving down the highway and you going from Jersey to Georgia, all right? You don't see Georgia when you get on. You're not like Sarah Palin. You can see Russia from your backyard, okay? You get on that highway, you can see as far as the road goes, but you're still traveling in that direction. So when you get to as far as you can see, guess what? You have to see even further. Mm-hmm. And that's how it goes towards achieving your goals. So things happen for you when they're supposed to happen. If it happens sooner than later, cool. But if it happens, that's what matters. All right. So I want to share some examples of perseverance. All right. First person I want to talk about is James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones began acting in 1953, but didn't land his first movie role until 1964. And, we know what he's done since then. He will forever be known as the voice of Darth Vader. Okay. Not to mention, oh my God, just his body of work is too grand to get into. So I'm not even going to try to. I saw a movie where James Earl Jones was playing Malcolm X.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember what it was, but I think it might have been Muhammad Ali's movie, The Greatest. But there was a movie that James Earl Jones was playing Malcolm X. All right. Speaking of which, the next person I want to talk about is Denzel Washington. Now, here's some things people might not know about Denzel. Denzel started acting in 1976. He made his professional debut in 1977, but didn't land his first movie role until 1981. And because, as my wife says, there's a whole lot of meaningless trivia running around in my head, I happen to know that that movie was a movie called Carbon Copy, where he played this white dude's illegitimate son who just popped up into his life as a grown man.
Wow.
Okay? It's trivia going on in my head. All right? But here's the thing. He didn't receive his first movie role until 1981. He received his first Oscar nomination in 1987, but he didn't receive his first Oscar until 1989. You see? So he started acting in 76. James Earl Jones started acting in 53. They weren't like, okay, I'm actor now. Where's my Oscar? You know? So these are things that they planned, they persevered, they found their purpose, they planned and prepared themselves, and they had to persevere throughout all of the pitfalls, all of those years. Okay? And the last example I want to share, in January of 1980, a lot of people might not know how long it goes back, but in January of 1980, Bob Johnson founded Black Entertainment Television, BET. Now, back then, when BET first came out, initially it only aired for 2 hours a week. Okay? But 23 years later, in 2003, he sold BET to Viacom for $3 billion. Billion with a B.
Look at that smile.
Okay, look at that smile. That's $1 billion smile right there. And in doing that, he became America's first black billionaire.
Wow.
All right? So you can't just, you go. I mean, but BET did kind of turn to shit.
Yeah, it did.
You know, still is kind of crap. I mean, Deborah Lee gets on every show like she got something to be proud of. Sorry. So bottom line is, you could say, you can't just say, I'm going to be X, Y, Z, and then poof, it appears, it happens magically. All right? The playgrounds are chock full of men and women with broken dreams of making it, big, as are the nightclubs, street corners, and any other place you could possibly think of where there are people who had big dreams and little perseverance. All right? One of my favorite wrestlers, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I used to watch wrestling a few years back. I was watching a show where he was speaking to a group of aspiring young wrestlers, that were trying to earn a contract with the WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment company. And what he said to them was for me, it was so profound that I remember it to this day, and I'll never forget it. And this is what he said. He said, it took me 7 years to become an overnight sensation. Now, for those of you out there who watch wrestling, y'all know that when, Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't just come out as Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was like some dude called the Ringmaster and all these other, fruity characters or what have you, until he found a character that hit. Mm-hmm. Like for those who are into wrestling or just into action movies, The Rock is really big now. Stone Cold Steve Austin has been doing movies now. A lot of wrestlers are doing action movies now. But when these guys first came out, okay, there was a lot of hit and miss, trial and error type stuff going on in their careers until they finally found the gimmick, if you will, that hit and really took them to the levels of stardom that they achieved. So I say this. With purpose, you know why you're about to go forward. With preparation, you begin looking forward. And with perseverance, you allow nothing to stop you while you're moving forward. Yeah. Okay? So those are, excuse me, those are the three tools those are the tools that I wanted to share with you this evening, the 3 Ps. And again, if any of you out there want to receive like a PDF copy of the 3 Ps or the 3 wants, or the first one that I did, the 7 R's of simplification, feel free to hit me up with an email request at askhrjr@ymail.com. If you have questions that you would like to have addressed here on the show, you could call in. We are going to leave soon. Anybody wants to call in right quick, I give you that opportunity. The number is 646-233-1302. So you could also hit me at Twitter at AskHRJR at Twitter. So there are a lot of ways to reach me. I want this to be a very interactive show. We had a lot of excitement, if you will, going on in the chat room. If anyone was offended by anything I said tonight, get over yourself. We're adults, and it's just not that serious. It's just not. It's not that deep, And I'll share with you something that my father always said to me, and that's never let anyone live rent free in your mind. So I mean, I don't intend to offend, but I know at the same time I'm not going to please everybody. I'm not going to have views that everybody is going to agree with. This is why a lot of times I warn people, non-motivational rant for those people who know me on Facebook, or I'm about to stir the pot. If you tune in on this show, which comes on every second and fourth Friday, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight was a little special circumstance, so we're staying on a little later. Just know that I intend to stir the pot every chance I get, because I haven't. This is something I haven't said this whole show, but I'm going to say it now.
I'm ready.
I am not. Ooh.
The politically correct one.
There it is. I thought I killed the radio station again. All right. So, do you have anything to say? Because you've been kind of chilling over there.
Great show. I'm still stuck on that perseverance.
Well, you got to persevere through it.
I persevere forever and always, but I see many people that do not persevere. Right. They do everything else, but then when it comes to time to persevere, they fall out.
Absolutely. And here's the thing that, I joke about making shameless plugs about the title of the show being named after my book, which is Find a Way to Make a Way. That's
Excellent
the book. That's the book right there. If I must say so myself, yes. The reason why I titled the book Find a Way to Make a Way is because when something is important enough to you, that's what you're going to do. You're going to find a way to make a way. And then the subtitle is you're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution. Mm-hmm. So quite frankly, I'm about putting it to your face. That's what the whole book is about. As a matter of fact, in the very beginning of the book, I have a warning statement. Okay? I'm telling you what you're about to get into reading this book. All right? And you can put that graphic up right there. That one. Yeah. I'm telling you what you're getting into reading this book. But then I also have, and this is all before even the table of contents, I also have what's called a pledge. All right? When you read my book, and I'll tell you how to get it in a second. When you read my book, you are taking a pledge. You are signing a contract with yourself. All right? And it's very important that you do that, because I'm all about accountability. I'm all about holding people accountable. I hold my coaching clients accountable to themselves, not to me. You don't have to answer to me, but as your coach, I'm the one who's going to ask you, did you accomplish everything you set out to accomplish this week? No. Why? And I expect answers. Not for me, for you. Face yourself. I think the next show I'll talk about, I'm going to give you some more. I like working in threes. I've been reading a lot about Steve Jobs lately. And Steve Jobs, one of the secrets to his success in terms of how he presents things, he does a lot of things in threes. So I've been really focusing on doing things in threes. So I've given you, you notice I gave you 7 R's. All right. I've broken them down to from 7 R's to 3 P's to 7 P's. But no, I think next show rather, 2 weeks from today, I think I'm going to talk about my 3 F's. And my 3F philosophy is face it, fight. So that's what I'm going to get into next time around. In the meantime, in between time, again, if you want to reach me, you can find me on Facebook, www.facebook.com/HRJR. You can find me on Twitter, AskHRJR, or HS Reed Jr. If you want to email me, you can email me at askhrjr@ymail.com. That's the letter Y, mail.com, because she's hitting the keys there. She be typing with a passion. I thought my wife was the only one that could be killing them keys. Soups is over there killing those keys, boy. But shortly, soon and very soon, no, we're not going to see the king. Well, yeah, but eventually. But sooner than that, hopefully. All right. We're going to have the Ow show. I don't say it the way they say it. Go ahead, say it, Soups.
Ow.
Yeah, see, I ain't doing that. That would be the dude who would put, I'm Mrs. whoever's future husband with his last name. That's that dude who would say it like that. But Al, only women wear high heels. Some beautiful women who are about to come on and drop some more stuff on you. That's where you're going to get all your juicy entertainment, gossip, all it. Dudes, you need to watch this show. Really. One, because the sisters on it are fine. I can say that because I know I'm going home to my beautiful wife and I'm not going to get in trouble. But, you know, these, and each one of them has something to say, and they all having, and Soups will be here. She working double duty, all right, so quadruple flipple duty, because you don't ever leave here apparently. So Soups will be here, so you still have her here. She probably won't move from where she's sitting. But are you gonna move? You gonna be right there?
No, I got to get to work on that.
There you go. All right, so it was a pleasure working with you as always.
And you, sir.
Thank you very
much. I always learn something.
That's what I'm here to do. And have fun doing it. And believe it or not, I actually enjoy speaking to you out there, even though I'm looking at a camera. You see me looking directly at you. And that's the most important thing. In closing, I'm going to leave you with these words. And that's: the impossible is only impossible because you have yet to step up and make it possible. So with that, I think I'm done.
Another hot show.
End of our show. We out.
Keep it locked.
Keep it locked. Al coming up next. Beautiful women.
Who walks in a room and fills the room with perfume?